Well, I live in London now. I'm from Liverpool, but I mean the key reason is we just think it's harsh on the club. Nobody's saying that we're not guilty as a club of anything, but the points that have been taken off us is far too harsh a penalty. So just coming down really in solidarity with all the rest of the fans that can't be here, and I'm in relatively close proximity to the headquarters, so it was quite easy for me to come down tonight. It does, but I think it's quite complex as well. I think the rationale behind it we'll probably never know for sure, but some of these things are quite often a negotiating thing, so it's like a starting point. Do I think that some of the other bigger clubs are going to get penalties like this, or it's going to play out the same? Probably not. I think the likelihood is we'll get a reduced penalty. It'll set a precedent for other clubs, and we'll see what happens next, but I can't see any of the big points deductions or fines that they're talking about for the Man Cities and Chelseas and Man Uniteds of the world, no. Well, I mean, it's very pleasing, but I had no... I knew they would. There wasn't really a question in my mind that Evertonians would group together and get behind a club like this, so yeah, I mean, we've come out in big numbers, or relatively big numbers, so, on a Friday night and it's cold.
I just think standing in solidarity for my football club that I've supported and show that we're backing the club, backing the players, because being an Everton fan, you're not going to back down to something like this. So just showing we're peaceful and that what is happening shouldn't be happening, and we just want consistency and fairness for all. Well, considering it's the biggest one that the Premier League has offered, I do think it's unjust. And like I said about consistency, if we just get consistency with your teams like Manchester City and Chelsea, I will take a 10-point deduction if they receive severe sanctions for all of their rule breaks that they have actually done. So, because a quote that you kind of think of is the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and I feel like a club like Everton, working sort of club, is just getting poorer because of the point deduction happening now. You're seeing clubs trying to attract players to take away from the football club, and you've got Man City still sitting at the top of the table with loads of different laws that they have broken, and they're just getting richer. They're literally just getting richer. I will say I don't think we will go down because there's too much fight, there's too much heart there. The fans will back us until the death, like we've done the past 2 seasons. So honestly, the point deduction, bring it on, but like I said, we just want consistency. That's all we ask for, is just consistency.
And finally,
I've got someone I'm going to the pub with now on Sunday, so it's great just meeting other people, all standing for what we believe in, and we're all Evertonians and Toffees till we die, so it's brilliant.
I think there's a lot of anger last week when the announcement came out. I think a lot of people, Everton fans, were expecting some kind of punishment. When I think 10 points came out, there was a lot of shock amongst the fan base with regards to that. It was unprecedented. Everton have got a big support. It's quite local. A lot of it's based in Liverpool, but we've also got support nationally. And as an Evertonian who's based in London, I thought it was kind of my duty to kind of come down and to support the protest. Yeah, it felt draconian. I mean, in most situations, if there's some kind of punishment, you have some kind of rule book which will set out what the punishment should be. If you get found guilty, if you do 30 miles an hour in a 20 mile an hour zone, you might be expected to go on a speed awareness course, or there's rule books in place for what the punishment should be. Well, in this situation, the tribunal had a completely free hand in that. We know that from reports that came out, the Premier League were putting pressure on the tribunal previously to give the maximum possible sentence to Everton, and I just think that my biggest issue with it is it just seems where they got that 10-point figure from. It just feels like the rules were deliberately vague to kind of give flexibility almost for this kind of situation.